The DMV office was cramped and packed with individuals who displayed visible frustration due to the extensive wait. The office lacked proper functioning air conditioning, causing everyone to endure a lack of fresh air. They resorted to fanning themselves with hats and folders. A disinterested expression adorned the face of a young security guard as they attended to the crowd. Observing the room, it seemed as though the people had been there for an eternity. Elderly citizens, migrants, and individuals in soiled work attire mingled with anxious young mothers and their crying children. Their faces depicted exhaustion and weariness. The hallway of the average town's DMV held no particular intrigue. However, the security guard's attention was captivated by the tall, broad-shouldered figure of an older gentleman donning worn clothing. Among the crowd, the man in the faded blue jacket stood out. Though his jacket shared a resemblance to those worn by soldiers, he lacked the polished and well-groomed appearance of a Navy warrior. Instead, he exuded an untidy and somewhat intimidating aura. A large scar covered half of his face, and his hands, concealed within his pockets, bore similar disfigurement. He loomed over the other individuals in the hallway, appearing restless and apprehensive. Frequently, he stole glances at his watch, well aware that the DMV office would soon close for lunch. A grin formed on the security guard's face as he remarked to the man, "Looks like you won't make it to your appointment today, old man. Lucy and Denise won't be staying around any longer." Lucy and Denise, middle-aged women employed at the DMV, had grown weary of dealing with the lengthy queues of hopeful visitors. They had become haughty, only displaying interest if visitors brought them money or expensive gifts. Additionally, a new employee had recently joined the office. Jennifer, a young clerk, differed from her colleagues Lucy and Denise. She had recently graduated from an orphanage, possessing no significant wealth and refusing to accept bribes. Diligently, she worked, following the example set by her beloved teacher, Mrs. McKenna, who had taken her under her wing, much like a mother. Lucy and Denise found it convenient to have an obedient orphan working in their department. Behind Jennifer's back, they referred to her as straight orphan. Taking advantage of Jennifer's eagerness to work, they often assigned her the majority of tasks, granting themselves leisure time to read magazines or indulge in shopping during lunch breaks. They frequently returned late to the office. Gossiping and mocking Jennifer's appearance became their preferred topic of conversation. They refused to acknowledge that Jennifer, who dressed modestly and tastefully with minimal makeup accentuating her fresh face, was far more beautiful than they could ever be. Instead of working on their own flaws and striving for self-improvement, Lucy and Denise took pleasure in spreading rumors and speaking ill of Jennifer. They found Jennifer's hard-working attitude to be dull, and her single status became a subject of ridicule, earning her the nickname "Bird" from the two women. With only 15 minutes remaining before the lunch break, Lucy and Denise grabbed their expensive bags, wearing passive expressions, and left the office with an air of dignity. The man with the burned face was taken aback and pleaded, "Girls, please don't leave. I've been waiting in line since this morning." Lucy and Denise ignored his plea, not even bothering to glance at him. But the man persisted, his voice filled with desperation. "Please understand, I came all the way from my village. My boss leaves in 20 minutes, and it's the last bus for today. I just need to change the photo on my driver's license, please." Lucy replied irritably, "Listen, old man, there are many like you here, and there are just 3 of us. Come back after the lunch break." The man pleaded further, "Please, I can't come back after lunch. My mother is waiting at home, she has a weak heart. You must understand." Despite the man's attempts to plead with the angry DMV clerks, they paid no attention to him. Denise's face twisted with disgust as she shouted, "Guards, get him out of here immediately." The security guard, who had been dozing off, quickly woke up and followed Denise's orders. Without thinking twice, he pushed the man out of the room. He was afraid of losing his job and didn't want to disappoint his wife, who would leave him if he lost his employment. The guard forcefully pushed the man out the door and locked it behind him. When Jennifer heard the commotion, she rushed out to see what was happening. She went outside to catch up with the man, but Lucy stopped her, sneering. "If you help every customer like that, you'll never have enough time to finish all the work. One person assisting everyone else will only slow everyone down." Jennifer ignored them and called out to the man. He turned to her with hopeful eyes. When Jennifer noticed the burn scar on his face, she hesitated briefly but quickly regained her composure. She said, "Please come back to the office. I will take care of everything, and you'll make it in time for your bus." As Jennifer worked on the man's paperwork, he sat hunched over in a chair, staring blankly at a fixed spot. He muttered, "Is there truly no justice in this world? What was it all for? What did I risk my life for?" Jennifer handed the completed document to the man, who was still visibly upset. "Here you go, please," Jennifer said as she handed him the document. "And please, I'm sorry for what my colleagues said. Their work is stressful, and they're burnt out. Unfortunately, this is what happens to people at the office sometimes." The man with the burned scars thanked Jennifer and wished her happiness before leaving the office. An hour later, Lucy and Denise returned from their lunch break, only to be met with angry glares from the people waiting in line. Someone in the crowd uttered, "Insolent, no words. The girl is working alone while they just wander around." The anger of the people was echoed by others. "We cannot simply overlook this, we should submit a formal complaint," someone expressed with a sigh of sadness. "But what good will it achieve? They'll likely be dismissed and replaced by new employees. It might be wiser to offer them money and let them suffer the consequences," another person remarked, filled with resignation. The day carried on as usual, and in the evening, Lucy and Denise laughed and ridiculed Jennifer. "We have never seen such a fool, and you were the first one to be tricked by that man's lies when he manipulated you out of pity," they mocked. However, Jennifer paid no heed to her colleagues' words. She swiftly made her way home, where her beloved cat Felix eagerly awaited her. Felix probably got bored and tore the wallpaper again, Jennifer thought with a smile, happily tapping her heels on the pavement. A few days later, authorities paid a visit to the DMV. The security guard perked up when he saw the city mayor, Mr. Reckenzone, stepping out of his luxurious SUV with his entourage. Mitchell Reckenzone strode confidently down the narrow corridor and firmly grasped the door handle. Upon hearing the commotion, he exclaimed, "No need to wander around without an appointment." With a forceful motion, he swung the door open to the office. Lucy and Denise stood frozen in place, unable to utter a word, their coffee mugs trembling in their hands. Jennifer observed the scene with interest. The formidable boss questioned, "What kind of nonsense is going on here?" The mayor continued, "The other day, an esteemed resident of our city and war hero, Chris Dober, came here, and you humiliated him." Lucy and Denise attempted to defend themselves, fluttering their eyelashes, but the mayor refused to listen. It turned out that the hero had missed the bus after all. Desperate, he decided to walk, hoping to catch a ride. An expensive SUV stopped in front of Chris, and to his surprise, the driver was none other than the mayor himself. Recognizing the honorable citizen, the mayor felt it was his duty to offer him a ride to his destination. Chris Dober, a former submariner and midshipman, had served aboard a nuclear submarine for an extended period. One day, a catastrophic fire broke out on the ship, posing a significant threat to numerous lives and the environment. After successfully extinguishing the fire, Mr. Dober sustained severe burns and became disabled. He was discharged from service and returned home for a well-deserved rest. However, troubles awaited him in his hometown. His wife, upon seeing his condition, hastily packed her bags and left him. Later, Chris discovered that his ex-wife was having an affair with a local market trader. She was subsequently seen with another man and then yet another, an unemployed alcoholic. Mr. Dober returned to his village to live with his elderly mother, leading a solitary life. He began to drink, though he never lost control. He diligently assisted his mother with household chores, completely neglecting his own appearance. He forgot that many people still judge others based on their clothing. Thus, he arrived at the DMV office in shabby clothes that provided him comfort. In the village, the residents had long known and grown accustomed to his old midshipman's pea jacket and the scars on his face. After the mayor's visit, both Lucy and Denise were dismissed from their positions, and Jennifer was appointed as the head of the DMV office. Despite the added responsibilities and concerns, Jennifer embraced the challenge and made a conscious effort to treat customers with kindness. She formed a young team, and as a result, the DMV began operating efficiently. Customers no longer had to endure long waiting lines, and the employees received positive feedback from satisfied visitors. Jennifer's personal life also took a positive turn when she encountered a charming man who worked as a camera operator for a local television station. Journalists visited the DMV to film a story about Jennifer and her profession, and the young operator was captivated by Jennifer's friendly and open demeanor. They went on walks together after work, and soon he invited her to the movies. A month later, Jennifer and her new boyfriend Greg became inseparable. Even her previously destructive cat, who had been a source of trouble, stopped tearing up the wallpaper as contentment filled the household with their newfound love. On Memorial Day, Jennifer and her friends, including Bragg, who was filming a story for the evening news, attended a gathering together. Jennifer was invited as a guest of honor, being recognized as the best social worker. As she stood on the stage, she noticed a distinguished man in full dress uniform. Adorned with medals and decorations, Jennifer recognized him as Chris Stober, a brave hero. Seeing him by her side made her heart swell with pride. Today, the hero delivered a heartfelt speech to the residents, sharing his life story and modestly speaking about his deeds. He emphasized that he fulfilled his duties and served his country not for the sake of receiving medals. The most important thing, he stated, is to be human. Not everyone can put themselves in harm's way or sacrifice themselves for others. For him, the epitome of honesty and integrity was a kind and lovely girl who reached out to him when everyone else had turned away. As Jennifer heard her name being called, she saw the hero extending an invitation for her to join him on the podium. With the assistance of others, she climbed onto a tall platform. The entire city erupted in applause as the honorary citizen presented her with a beautiful bouquet of lush roses. Greg captured the moment on camera, and in the evening, while watching the news, he excitedly assured Jennifer of his sincere and genuine love for her. "Why?" Jennifer asked. "Look how beautiful you are on the screen, just like a movie star." Greg replied, "They say that the camera loves a person, meaning the operator becomes infatuated with the person they capture." Jennifer laughed and said, "Greg, you scoundrel. On screen, I may look like a movie star, but in real life, I'm just a plain Jane." Greg hugged his beloved, gazed into her eyes, and quietly said, "In life, you are 100 times more beautiful." As for handling things differently, I believe each person's journey is unique, and the choices they make are influenced by their circumstances and personal growth. However, it's important to remember the power of kindness, embracing challenges, and having a positive attitude. These qualities can lead to personal and professional success, as well as meaningful connections with others. If you enjoyed this story, please consider liking and subscribing for more content. Thank you, and see you soon.